Yeah, and are you also like in charge of your own music videos as well?
Yeah, I mean, I've co-directed or directed probably everything that I've put out.
Okay.
You
So,
know, and like been hands-on with the treatments and everything. I've directed some videos for a couple other artists.
mm,
It's not. I don't cam op. I mean, I have, but I'm not like a big cam op. But directing is cool. I fuck with that.
yeah, because I'm not gonna lie, man. I thought the 30 pack track that you had was really great. The video was awesome. That's what it was.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, like you and you had a Lia Mack featured on it as well, right?
Yeah, she's incredible. And Rex Wonders is the guy who did the video. He's an amazing director and editor, artist all around.
Okay, and so how did that even come about? 'Cause I know you have a couple tracks together, but she also has like tracks with like John Connor and different artists. And so how did that even like come together in the first place?
Yeah, so Leah and I have been working together on music since like 2005, probably 2004, 2005. We met through some like mutual friends, like the other MCs you were mentioning and shit. And like, at the time she was working over at Aftermath doing some stuff. And we had a mutual friend over there. And then like right as her work over there was ending, I was recording like down the street from where she was. So I was like, yo, like you should just like come in here and stay creative because she was bored, she was frustrated. And like literally from that point on, like she wasn't even rapping yet, you know what I mean? Like she was just she would like, if you listen to like the Calistine album, like she was like ad-libbing a lot of my verses. And like, she would sound so dope. At a certain point we'd just like mute my verse and listen to her rapping. I'd be like, yo, like you can do this if you write some bars. So like, it took like a year or two of some coaching, and then like Leah just became this really, really dope rapper. And her and I have like probably like 2 albums worth of music in the tuck. But we took a little break from working because life and craziness happens, and then we ended up in Brooklyn because I've been working with Optics a lot lately, and she came out there to do what we do. And the first joint that we made was 30 pack. Probably long answer short again, but like that's. Were you asking how we met or how the song come about? I tried to
Oh,
put
like
it
all
all
together.
together.
Like I love inside like this. So I don't
Okay.
mind. So
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, that's really where we're at now. And then we have, yeah, I'm gonna probably put something out soon because people have been hitting me up a lot, like for Lia music, and there's no Lia music without me right now. So it's like, I feel like I'm like being a dick if I'm withholding anything. So I'm trying to get like a 10 to 13 song project out with us by like the next couple months. I'm already putting things together. It's just like, the corona shit slowing down videos and whatnot. But
yeah.
outside of that, it'll be ready to go really soon. And like I'm so proud of that person. Like she's an incredible talent because she's an amazing singer. You know what I mean? She was over at the label singing. It's not like she was over there rapping or doing anything. She was doing background vocals and shit. And like now she's a full-fledged, like really lethal MC. You know what I mean? She's a really dope rapper and like one of my favorite rappers to listen to. And it's cool to listen to her rap because it's like someone with mad life experience who's brand new to something. So she takes to rap super easily, but the things she thinks of are really fresh and different because it's like she doesn't come from a rapper background, so she's not worried about like certain rapper shit that gets caught up in our ego heads. She's just like, I just want this to sound cool. Like, it's like more like someone who's excited to be there instead of someone who's like, I'm so worried about making a mistake. And like, she doesn't have to worry about being calculated. She just flows very well. It's dope to listen to her rap, man. I'm a big fan of what she does.
Yeah, man. That's like one thing for myself is that like I love just hearing like this unexpected talent. Like, because if anyone ever sends you like a Spotify link or a SoundCloud link, you click on it and then sometimes most of the time like they're trash. But then when you actually get a good one, you're like, okay, this actually took me by surprise. And so
I mean, the second you hear her speak, you want to listen to what she's saying. Like it's a very, very easy voice to listen to.
Yeah, because with that song and a couple others, yeah, it really does have a dark sound to whatever tracks you put out. Like I didn't have enough time to really like get invested, but like the older music videos you had, but it does have like a dark sound for all the recent ones that I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, again, like that's just always going to be like where my heart rests and where my aesthetic is. Like, I will forever just love darker shit. I don't know. That's how I've always been. Like, my mom was bribing me with horror comic books when I was like in 3rd grade to have to do stuff. You know what I mean? Like, that's just what I like. And it's always going to be portrayed in my music because that's what I find interesting. Like, I'm a pretty happy dude. I got a pretty decent life, you know what I mean? Because I get most of my dark shit out on the page and on screen. But yeah, it's just better that way. Like, that's always going to be way more sexy to me than like the super positive.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that. You know, like someone always told me, man, like when it comes to like, especially when it comes to girls, they're always like, dude, like I want myself a good girl and this now. I'm like, I do too, but I don't want no by the book person either. You know, it's like. I need to feel rebellious. You can't trust
someone who's too good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, it's just like you gotta have to have the rebellious side to yourself. And that's just me personally, though. But that's why I like the darker stuff.
Being dark is being vulnerable. You know what I mean? I'm putting a lot of cards on the table. You know what I mean? Like, I do put a lot of my darker thoughts and darker realities and experiences into my music. So it's like, you know, I'd rather give people the real than like, hey, this is the shiny version of what I wish my life was. You know what I mean? Because that's not being honest with people. Like, you know, like we've all been through some shit. That's a lot more relatable than like, I don't want to hear someone like fraudulently talking about how happy they are. Not to knock anyone who's also genuinely just having the best time in the world, but I feel like the best music certainly comes from pain. Like, you know, it comes from a darker place.
Well, that's the thing, man. Like, people need to struggle and people need to go through hard shit just so they can figure out like what really lies within them, you know. Like, I'll tell you this much, man. Since the month of September of last year, it's been one hell of a fucking chaotic roller coaster. Like, just 2 days ago, you know, my cousin got shot and, you know, didn't make it, and you know, it threw me off because, like, you know, this is like in the
sorry for your loss, man.
That's alright. Thank you so much. But it's like in the peak of me doing all these interviews. Like, I have a lot to put out still, and like, you know, you have the whole mode of training. And once you get like the call, and it's like, whoa, and then like everything gets put on pause for some reason, and it just throws you off. But then you realize, okay, like you got to keep it moving, you got to keep going.
Well, because everything only gets put in pause in your world. You know, like the person throwing papers is still out there throwing papers. The dude making donuts is still out there making donuts.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? The doctor's still putting it. So it's like, that's the crazy thing. You know, unfortunately, I dealt with like a lot of death in my life, like at a young age and shit. And like, it is one of those interesting things where like, you know, it causes a ripple. You know, like when you like drop a pebble in the water, and like as the ripple expands, like it gets less and less apparent. You know what I mean? So like the further outside your circle goes, the less it affects people. And you can look around like, yo, what the fuck? You know what I mean? But like at the end of the day, if things are moving, you know, shit be moving. You can't like, it's one of those things you would like the world to stop for, but it just doesn't, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's like Gary Vee, like the entrepreneur said, is like no one gives a fuck about your feelings. You know, you just gotta keep at it. And you know, it's like a double-edged sword with that. But you know.
Well, I mean, to be honest, a lot of times we don't even care about our own feelings. You know what I mean? We don't treat ourselves very well most of the time. So like, you know, to expect others to care about us how much we barely even care about ourselves is just like, you know, who are we? But at the end of the day, it doesn't change the fact that like everybody's going through some shit. You know what I mean? And that's why like your intention and your approach with people is what's important. You know what I mean? Because like now that you are going through some shit and have been through some shit, your intentions and your approach with people will shift. And like that's growth. And dope things come out of chaos. And that's where you start appreciating the negative stuff that happens. Not to get all hippie on you.
Oh no, but that's perfectly said, you know. That's why I like doing these interviews. Like sometimes whoever I'm talking to actually explains things exactly the way I can't say them in my head, and it helps me out. And so I don't know. I'm an everywhere type of dude. That's why like this conversation can be jumping from music to, you know, deep thoughts to aliens for some reason. You know what I'm saying? It just that's just how my mind operates. But
it's a good game, man. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
For sure, man. Well, you know, I do want to kind of go on a song that you and Ash Riser had. Um,